The year 1999 was one that was filled with both excitement and tragedy. Schools across the country were rethinking security measures following the killings at Columbine High School, while other notable figures would be lost in rather bizarre airplane accidents. During this year, we also had some memorable moments in sports, with picture-perfect endings that would become both legendary and infamous. To begin the year, on January 10th, the critically acclaimed show The Sopranos premiered on HBO. The show starred James Gandolfini as mobster Tony Soprano, and it became a phenomenon that had everyone talking. On January 25th, the independent supernatural horror film The Blair Witch Project premiered at the Sundance Film Festival. The fictional movie had people wondering if what they were watching was real. On February 12th, President Bill Clinton was acquitted by the U.S. Senate in his impeachment trial on 2 charges of perjury and obstruction of justice. Following his acquittal, Clinton said he was profoundly sorry for the burden his behavior imposed on the American people. On March 26th, the Melissa virus infected Microsoft word processing and email systems around the world. Upon clicking on the email message, the body would read, "Here's that document you asked for. Don't show anyone else." The virus would then be emailed to the first 50 people in your contact list. On April 20th, 2 Littleton, Colorado teenagers, Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold, opened fire on their teachers and classmates at Columbine High School, killing 12 students and 1 teacher before taking their own lives. It would be the deadliest shooting at a high school in U.S. history at the time. On May 19th, the much-anticipated Star Wars Episode I: The Phantom Menace, directed by George Lucas and starring Ewan McGregor, Natalie Portman, and Liam Neeson, was released. The prequel came 16 years after the last Star Wars film, Return of the Jedi. On May 21st, All My Children star Susan Lucci finally won a Daytime Emmy after being nominated 19 times. This was the longest period of unsuccessful nominations in television history. On June 19th, at about 4:30 in the afternoon, author Stephen King was hit by a car in Maine as he walked down the road. He suffered numerous injuries, including a collapsed right lung, multiple fractures of his right leg, a scalp laceration, and a broken hip. On July 10th, women's soccer player Brandi Chastain scored the game-winning penalty kick against China in the FIFA Women's World Cup, clinching the title. Her celebration following the goal made her a pop culture hero as it became a defining moment for women's sports. On July 16th, John F. Kennedy Jr., his wife Carolyn Bessette, and sister-in-law Lauren Bessette were killed in a plane crash off the coast of Martha's Vineyard. The Piper Saratoga aircraft that Kennedy was flying went down after he lost sight of the horizon and became confused. It would take Navy divers 5 days to locate the plane in over 100 feet of water. On July 25th, Lance Armstrong won the 86th Tour de France. This would be his first of 7 consecutive Tour de France titles, which would later be stripped from him after it was discovered he used performance-enhancing drugs. On September 22nd, The West Wing, created by Alan Sorkin and starring Martin Sheen, Rob Lowe, and Richard Schiff, debuted on NBC. The political drama would become one of the best TV shows of all time, according to multiple publications. On October 25th, a month after the American team rallied to win the Ryder Cup, and 4 months after his U.S. Open victory, Payne Stewart died aboard a Learjet as it flew to Texas for another tournament. Following takeoff, the plane failed to pressurize, causing all on board to die of hypoxia. The aircraft then continued flying on autopilot until it ran out of fuel and crashed into a field in South Dakota. On November 18th, in College Station, Texas, 12 people were killed and 27 injured at Texas A&M University when a massive bonfire under construction collapsed. The bonfire tradition had been going on for 90 years and was a part of the football celebrations that surrounded the rivalry between the University of Texas. On December 7th, the Recording Industry Association of America first filed a lawsuit against Napster, a file-sharing website that allowed users to share copyrighted music. The site would eventually be shut down, which made the band Metallica very happy. To close out the year, on December 31st, the U.S. turned over complete control of the Panama Canal to the Panamanian government. The transition of the canal had been agreed upon back in 1977 during Jimmy Carter's presidency.